Hi, Aaron King from Fit Clinic. I'm going to teach you how to juggle today, going from 1 ball to 2 balls to 3 balls. And we're going to end it on the 3 ball underhand catch. So what we want to do is start with 1 ball. So we're starting with 1, and our idea is to build the pattern imagining that we've got 3 balls. So we're throwing it in an A-type shape, about head height, catching it with our elbows parallel to the floor, or our forearms parallel to the floor rather, in a 90-degree bend here, and trying to allow it to fall and catch it, thrown from our left to our right, right to our left, without trying to snatch it out of the air. We let it come to ourselves. Then part 2, we're doing it from our dominant side to our non-dominant side, throwing it from, in my case, left to right, and then right to left, and then building on that. So I'm learning the first step is to throw it just 1 ball at a time, assuming that we've got 3, letting the ball come to the hand. Part 2 is having a second ball and trying to get that out of the hand before we catch the first ball. So the next trick is, before we're about to catch it, we just throw it out of our hand. At this point, I'm not too concerned with being able to catch it or not, because the most challenging part of this is to actually get it out of the hand and catch the first ball. So don't even worry where it goes. At this point, you don't have to worry about catching it. Just learn to build the pattern of getting it out. Now I'm doing it from my dominant hand to my non-dominant, left to right. So you want to build that from both sides. Once you're practicing, you can start from your dominant and do that okay. You do it from your non-dominant, and again, just throwing it out before you catch the first ball. So doing it left to right, right to left. Build that pattern, keep building on that, and then we add the third ball. So adding the third ball in, now we've got 2 in our dominant hand. That's typically where most people start when they're getting used to it. You throw the ball out of the front of the hand, and then that's what we just did, where we're throwing dominant to non-dominant and we're catching. But instead this time, instead of catching, we're going to throw that next ball out that's in the back of our hand, or that starts in the back of our hand, out again before we catch it. So when we're using 2 balls, we go dominant to non-dominant, non-dominant, dominant. So in my case, left to right, right to left. That's the pattern. So then we add the third ball, and then you can catch it from there and then build on that. So you don't need to catch it. Ideally you don't, and you just repeat the pattern. But just to start, you're just trying to get 1 or 2 or 3. I'm not too concerned if you catch it or don't, but it's just the hand pattern, and then that'll allow you to build it on. So from your dominant hand start, then you can either catch it, let it drop. Just build that from your dominant side. You can even try from your non-dominant side, but I find that's typically harder. Often people find starting just with a dominant side, 2 balls. So it's that 2 ball pattern that we've used, except instead of catching it, you're just throwing it out. So there's always 1 ball in the air. It's just catch and pass underneath. So it's catch, pass underneath. Catch, pass underneath. We repeat that, and over time we just build on the pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then you might do 3, you might do 4, and then you build on it from there. We're trying not to snatch it out of the air, because that's not giving us enough time to do so. We try to let it come to us. And then we can start to get a little bit fancy along the way. But first, the trick is starting with 1 ball, building the pattern, then going to 2 balls, doing it from both sides, and then adding the third ball in, starting from your dominant, and going from there. So that's how to juggle. Aaron King from Fit Clinic. Thanks.